So we're here with Cal, owner of Duck Rabbit Coffee
Yeah,
on the
welcome.
near east side of Cleveland in a beautiful warehouse. Any idea what year the warehouse was built?
No, I think some parts started at the end of the 1800s. I think it
Okay.
wrapped up in, 1920, something
Feels
like that.
very Industrial Revolution-esque.
Yeah, for sure. It's a
It's
good
cool.
vibe for us. Feels very industrious.
I know. I'll start with the most obvious question that I think most people are asking when they try Duck Rabbit for the first time is, where did you come up with Duck Rabbit name?
Yeah, sure. So I started getting into coffee while I was studying philosophy at Berkeley. And so the name Duck Rabbit comes from an example found in Ludwig Wittgenstein's philosophy, who's 20th century Austrian-born philosopher.
Okay.
So in one of his writings, he brings his readers' attention to this image that can either be seen as the head of a duck or the head of a rabbit. Now our logo's more of just kind of a literal interpretation with a rabbit head on a duck body. But if you look at his image, you can see the bills of the image can either be seen as the bills of the duck or the ears of the rabbit, vice versa. So his reason for bringing this to his readers' attention is to help illustrate how we see the world is dependent on background and context, and how we learn the world, rather than as some other thinkers would like to put forward, that we just kind of show up and the world kind of tells us what it's all about. So with coffee, we try to help people see coffee as an object of refined taste rather than a commodity.
So from Berkeley, California to Cleveland, Ohio, what's the natural connection?
Yeah, I grew up in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, I got into coffee. I was on an academic track, but I got really into coffee, and it seemed like a great time to come back to Cleveland. This was back in 2014, and do something like this.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you feature lots of single origin.
Mm-hmm.
And for the novice or the beginner, can you explain what that is and why you choose to focus on single origins?
Yeah, so what we do is we're really trying to bring out what is unique and special about a given coffee, and so I feel the best way to do that is highlighting the origin it's from. We produce a very clean cup of coffee. We buy really good coffee, roasted in such a way where you can really get into it and look around and taste those unique characteristics of that specific origin or that specific varietal. So in order to do that, you need very good coffee, and
Sure.
you need to roast it in a way where you can get a clean look at it. If you have bad coffee and roast it in a way where you get a clean look at it, or you're going to get a clean look at some bad coffee. Yeah.
I think the biggest misconception most people have is that you have to really roast a bean a lot for it to show its nuances. And actually, I've found that it's completely the opposite. Most commercial grade coffee is overly roasted. Would you agree?
Indeed. Yeah. So we roast it in a way to kind of unlock those special characteristics. At some point in the roasting process, roast flavor starts to overtake origin flavor. So
Okay.
at some point, coffee will taste the same if you roast it dark enough.
Gotcha.
It just tastes burnt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not being true to the place of origin where it comes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your relationship with the farmers. I know I was doing some reading on your website, and I was under the impression that purchasing from a co-op is what's in the best interest of the farmer, and it seems like it's not always the case.
We get coffee in a number of different ways. Sometimes we're dealing directly with the farmer, and sometimes we are dealing with the co-op. It just varies, kind of region to region. So in some places, say Burundi, for instance, we have some Burundi coffees coming in. You will have hundreds, thousands of very small farmers in an area, and they will grow their coffee and they deliver it to a site for it to get processed, where in some other places all the processing happens on site if it might be a bigger farm
Gotcha.
or something like that. Yeah.
Interesting. What are some things that you see happening over the next year, 18 months in coffee just space?
Yeah, right now there's all these experimental process types are all the rage.
does that mean?
How we get from coffee fruit to dried out seed can happen
Okay.
in many different ways. So we often will feature washed coffees, and this also supports our clean cup and our getting at those unique and special attributes. So with these experimental process types, what they're doing is messing around with different variables in the fermentation step of the wash process, or even the pre-fermentation step where you have the whole cherry, and sometimes the cherry's put in vats of in sealed tanks, and when either the whole coffee cherry or the skinless fruit is put into these sealed tanks, you can control how much oxygen is let in, and this lets different yeasts and stuff thrive in there. So this is kind of the new rage
Interesting.
these days.
Last question for you. The way that coffee is prepared seems like it's been going through I guess a revolution or a renaissance over the past couple of years. Do you see anything new on the horizon as far as coffee preparation?
Oh, as far as like brewing
Yep.
a cup of coffee, I don't know if I can really speak on that too much. I mean, espresso machines keep getting better.
Okay.
So how we used to roast for espresso has definitely changed over the years, given the new machines with different controls over different variables. So yeah, as far as brewing goes, I'm sure there'll be refinement and stuff, but I'm not sure if I can anticipate any
One particular.
real big changes there.
comment
Yeah.
on the quite. Cool. Well, appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Love the roast that you have, and
Thank you.
having a wine background, I'm learning that coffee is every bit as intricate as far as both the origin, where it comes from, and then the range of flavor profiles.
For sure, tons of similarities.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lots of natural overlap. So,
Yeah.
Cal Duck Rabbit Coffee, check it out.
Cool. Thank you.